Hello and welcome to the weather update. It's September 13th, 2020. Before I get started, I just want to show you some of these clouds that I saw. This was Friday night, actually. Some Friday evening at sunset. Really brilliant colors here reflecting on these clouds here. And then as we move on, we'll go on to this. Show you last night's sunset as well. You can see like some, I don't know if you can look closely, you can see like little ripples there in the sky. That's actually smoke, I believe, that's creating these colors. Here we go again with this. This definitely is from smoke, I believe. Look at that. So again, this was last night, Saturday night. Really incredible. Whoops, nope, that's not what we want to see. There it is again. So, wow, that's really nice, really pretty. But anyway, let's talk about what's going on, because we have a lot going on in the tropics. A lot going on. All right, where do we get started? Well, I guess we'll start and we'll work our way from P to S, I guess. Looking at the overall map here, you got Hurricane Paulette, Tropical Depression Renee, Tropical Depression 20, and this disturbance here, which also could become a depression and tropical storm. Then we have Sally. This one will threaten the Gulf Coast. And then you have another one here, too. So this is insanity right here. So let's get started. We'll first start with Hurricane Paulette. Let's look at the latest public advisory on Hurricane Paulette. So the rain bands of Paulette are bringing heavy rain and tropical storm force winds to Bermuda, and conditions will deteriorate through tonight. So as of 8 p.m., its location is 30.9 north, 63.6 west, about 120 miles southeast of Bermuda. Maximum sustained winds are up to 85 miles an hour, moving northwest at 14 miles per hour. The minimum central pressure is 974 millibars, or 28.77 inches. Hurricane warning is in effect for Bermuda. Maximum sustained winds, the hurricane force winds extend outward up to 60 miles. This is a fairly large storm from the center. And tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 175 miles. And multiple observation stations on Bermuda have reported tropical storm wind gusts within the past hour. If we go ahead and we look at the warning cone for Paulette, you will see that it looks like it's gonna pretty much go right over Bermuda. And then when it recurves, actually it's going to become a major hurricane, but mainly just out in the ocean. And look at this. It stays a hurricane all the way to here. So that kind of shows you the warm effects of these warm waters that are having on these storms, which is, like I said, pretty incredible when you think about it. Really, we're going to look at some of those sea surface temperature and anomalies in a little bit. But that's Paulette. Then we have Tropical Depression Renee, which I'm not going to waste my time with. We have Tropical Depression 20. We have this one here. The next threat, and this threat is for the United States, is Tropical Storm Sally. So let's look at the latest public advisory on Tropical Storm Sally. Sally is forecast to strengthen and slow down. So this is a bad situation. It's strengthening and it's slowing down. Life-threatening storm surge, hurricane force winds, and heavy rainfall expected along portions of the northern Gulf Coast starting on Monday, that is tomorrow. So its location as of 7 p.m., 27.9 north, 86.2 west, about 160 miles south of Panama City, Florida, and about 195 miles east-southeast of the mouth of the Mississippi River. Sally has maximum sustained winds of 60 miles an hour. It's moving west-northwest at 9 miles an hour. The minimum central pressure is 996 millibars. And so we have hurricane warning in effect for Morgan City, Louisiana to Ocean Springs, Mississippi, Lake Pontchartrain, and Lake Mauritania, including the metropolitan New Orleans area. Storm surge watch is in effect from the Mississippi to Alabama border to the Alabama to Florida border. A hurricane watch is in effect for east of Orange Springs to the Alabama-Florida border. A tropical storm warning is in effect for east of Ocean Springs to Indian Pass and the intracoastal city, Louisiana, to west of Morgan City. And a tropical storm watch is in effect for Indian Pass to Oglaki River, Florida. Okay, so tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 125 miles primarily to the east of the center, and the minimum central pressure is 29.41 inches once again. So let's look at the map on this one. So you get an idea here of, and you'll see that it's going to become a hurricane, and it's going to slow down, and it's taking a very bad track. This could be a repeat of Katrina, perhaps, with the flooding in New Orleans. You could see another devastating natural disaster, as if we haven't had enough devastating natural disasters. More of the natural disaster that took place over in this area from Laura, then we have the fires out west. So just devastating. What's happening on this planet is just unbelievable. It really is unbelievable and horrifying. It's like some kind of horror movie. It really is. So let's go look at some satellite images here. We're going to look at Hurricane Paulette, which I probably should have loaded first, I guess, but oh, there's Bermuda. You'll see it in a minute. So here's Bermuda right here. It's getting close to Bermuda. So here's the wow. This storm looks really. It's definitely going to, I think, strengthen a little more. And there's Bermuda, that little speck right there. Wouldn't want to be on Bermuda right now. That's for sure. This thing is coming. It looks like it's going to make a direct hit on Bermuda. The eye is probably going to go right over Bermuda, or maybe just a little bit to the south, maybe. But wow, that's Paulette. And then here are the models of Paulette. I mean, pretty much an agreement on the track there. They all go, but look what happens. It turns south again. Isn't that kind of weird? Some of them, a lot of them take it further south again. Here's the intensity guidance on Paulette. And yeah, this could become a Category 3, I think, but after it passes Bermuda, perhaps. But the more imminent threat is Sally. I'm not even going to look at Renee right now, because Renee is kind of... We'll look at the satellite in a minute and you'll see. But the Tropical Storm Sally will be the next one we got to watch out for here. It's getting itself together. You know how warm those waters are in the Gulf. And you know this thing is going to really... Alright, can't seem to... This one is slow loading. Alright, well, this is the one that everybody's watching. Well, while we're waiting for that, let's look at a wider satellite view. This is our satellite, by the way. You can see this is the cold front that's approaching. We'll get to our weather in a minute, but I want to change this to the Atlantic, the whole Atlantic view, if we can. Tropical Atlantic, that's the one I want. Alright, so this is Paulette over here. So you can get an idea of all the players here. This is Paulette. That's Renee. This is that other disturbance that looks like it's already a tropical storm. And then you have another disturbance over here. And then here's Sally. So here's Sally getting itself together in the Gulf. Let me just make this a little bit of a longer loop here. Make this a 60 frame loop instead of a 12. So you get an idea what it looked like during the day here. Look at that. I mean, that's... When was the last time we had this many storms going at the same time? Yeah, there's definitely... These two... One of these is... Both of these may become tropical storms over here. Alright? Alright, this one should have loaded. So here's Sally. And you can see it looks disorganized, but it's getting itself together. It's over the Gulf of Mexico. It has plenty of warm water to work with. And it will intensify once it gets out over, and because it's moving so slowly, it's going to have plenty of time to do that, to intensify. The environment is very favorable for intensification of Sally. So let's look at the high resolution satellite so we can point out everything. Here again is Paulette right there. I think that's what's left of Renee, tiny Renee. And then these disturbances look more impressive than alright, well, it looks like I don't have a full... Here we go. These disturbances look more impressive than even Renee does at this point. And here's Sally over here. And then what's this? Looks like something over here too. So you'll note that there's a lot of smoke coming out of the west coast here. Now I think the conditions have gotten slightly better. There's been a little more of an onshore flow for them. So it's helped with the smoke a little bit. It's helped with them getting the fires under control. But look at all this smoke traveling all across the country. And you could see... literally, there's a little bit of it right behind this cold front that moves through tomorrow. So I'm thinking tomorrow we may be dealing with some of the smoke in the afternoon, perhaps in our area. and there's some more smoke over here, and hopefully it gets pushed to the south as the front, as the cooler Canadian air moves in for us. But wow, that's just a crazy amount of smoke right there. Okay, so you're ready to go to the models? All right, let's. Oh, and yeah, let's look at the models for Sally too. That's right, I almost forgot. Let's look at that. So here's the models for Sally, and you can see, yeah, landfall right around New Orleans. Some of them curve it easy, but this thing is gonna crawl, which means you're not only gonna be dealing with the storm surge flooding, but you're gonna be dealing with the rainfall too. So flooding is probably gonna be the biggest threat from this, but there'll be some strong winds too, I'm sure. Let's go to the models here. Oh, and if I don't know if I did show this already, but here is pretty sure I did show this, but here's the track from the Hurricane Center for Tropical Storm Sally. All right. Let's go to the models here, and we've got busy stuff going on. So let's change this to the front. Yeah, let's change this to the Eastern U.S. view. Okay, so you can get an idea of what's happening. So this is Paulette right here. Let's go to the upper air here. In fact, you know what? Let me make this change the region a little more. It's kind of overwhelming when you think about all that's happening, isn't it? All right, let me go to the upper air. Where is it? Oh, I'm on the wrong side again. Just overloaded. There it is. So you can get an idea of where things are going. So here's that ridge. There's Sally. And so what's going to happen is you have this ridge here. So this is Paulette. So this ridge is kind of letting it go northwest, kind of pushing to the northwest. That ridge lifts out, and Paulette escapes. Sorry. Paulette escapes to the north, gets pulled up into that trough right there, as you see. And then kind of gets pulled into this trough over there. So that's what happens with Paulette. After it's finished with Bermuda, we won't have to worry about Paulette. It's Sally that we got to be concerned about. You can see Sally strengthening there and then taking its sweet time. And the reason why is because you see this this ridge that's over the eastern. There's a trough over the northeast and a ridge here, and Sally's trapped underneath it, so it's going to have a hard time making northward progress, and it's going to be very slow. Now you'll notice here's the next wave coming off. And let's see what this one does. So the good news is it looks like it gets pulled. Oh, there's a ridge building here, but it looks like it will get pulled northward and away, and then kind of dissipate. And you see a couple of strong troughs coming to these. So this is very good for us. At least we are so far looking protected from all this mayhem right now. Let's go to the European. Again, this is Paulette. This is Sally. There's Paulette. There's the next system. Also, same thing. It looks like it just gets pulled off to the northeast. So, luckily, we've got that trough to protect us, and that's very important when we look at things. All right, let me change this regions back to the eastern U.S. so you get an idea. And we'll put this back to the surface. So there's Paulette. You can see it really intensifies over that really warm water. And here's Sally. So Sally definitely looks like it's going to become a hurricane, and just look at how long. All right, so it starts affecting New Orleans or southern Louisiana, I guess Monday afternoon, Monday evening, and it's still over that. It's still over that area Tuesday night. It's slowly moving north, and it's going to dump copious amounts of rain for them as well. So this is going to be. It's going to probably be another major natural disaster. Meanwhile, we've got this big, beautiful high over our area, bringing us beautiful weather, especially Tuesday into Wednesday. That high lingers. We get a little more of a return flow, and then another high comes down and blocks the moisture, the northward progression of whatever's left of Sally. So we stay dry with that high to the north on the weekend there, you could see. And then it looks like something else might form, though, off the southeast coast. It wasn't reflected in the upper air as we get into the 23rd, 24th. Obviously, it's a ways away, but these could be other tropical systems that may affect us week. But again, it's a ways out. So we're not out of the woods yet, even though there's no indication that we're going to get hit by anything. We're not out of the woods. But then another cold front comes through, and that's a really strong trough that comes through right there toward the end of the period there. And it'll probably be significant cool air coming in to the picture. So let's go and look at Sally on the models here. I guess this is southeast. And we're going to go and we're going to look at the wind. This is the wind on the GFS, and you can see it's strengthening a little bit there. And look at that, and it's strengthening upon landfall. It'll probably be a Category 1 hurricane, but it might even become a Category 2. You can see, look at that thing. It rapidly strengthens upon landfall. That is not what you want to see. Something that's strengthening as it's making landfall. We saw that, how devastating that was with Laura. We saw how devastating that was with Michael. Yeah, it's not going to be good at all. All right. That's not going to be good at all. And we're going to look at some of the other models now, like the NAM, 12 kilometer. Again, it's slow because a lot of people are using it. So here is the NAM. Let's go here. Similar thing. You can see its strength. The NAM is even slower. That. So NAM has it making a right turn, and maybe the worst of it just misses New Orleans, and it hooks right. You can see, though, that's a pretty sizable storm right there, and it's going to be bad. It's going to be another natural disaster for sure. But let's go take a look at our weather here, and we're gonna look at a few more things related to Sally in a little bit. But first, let's get to our weather. As far as the chances for showers go, looking at our current conditions out there right now, 71. The humidity has come up after a summer day with a lot of clouds around, and some sun. But looking at the radar, you can see there's not really a whole lot to look at. So it's probably not going to be a whole lot of shower activity tonight at all. Looking at the current conditions across our area, temperatures are in the low 70s and upper 60s. There is a high surf advisory because of the surf being started up from Paulette. And generally, dew points have risen up into the upper 60s, so we're getting a little more humid ahead of the cold front, but the cold front comes through sometime in the early part of tomorrow. So let's go take a look at how our temperatures are going to be doing as we head into tomorrow. So tomorrow, we'll have temperatures probably starting off in the upper 70s and then dropping as the day goes on. And then we cool down. Tomorrow night will be very cool, probably lows in the mid 50s. And then for Tuesday, very nice sunshine. We'll look at the sky in a little bit. You'll see temperatures only in the low 70s. And then Wednesday, maybe mid 70s. Thursday, maybe we warm up to the upper 70s, closer to 80. And then the next front comes through. We're down to around 70 degrees again. And look at that, maybe not out of the upper 60s on Saturday and Sunday. Looking very nice indeed. So lots of cooler weather coming our way, fortunately. And look at that. That's that cold front that strong cold front there. You come through behind that front, we may we're not even gonna hit the 70s. We'll be in the 60s. All right, behind that front will be nice. All right, so let's go look at the dew points, because the dew points will be coming down too. You're feeling a little more humidity today. Nothing terrible, but you're feeling a little more. But fortunately, we have these troughs coming through and bringing these cold fronts through, luckily. So we have the humidity around early in the morning tomorrow. By the afternoon, it's gone. Dew points have dropped into the low 50s, low to mid 50s with north winds. And then Tuesday, dew points going to be very low, nice and low. Northeast winds, probably not too gusty, probably, a little breezy, but very nice. Temperatures upper 60s to around 70 is all you're going to get. And then maybe we see a little return flow develop on Wednesday when shifting off to the south, and then the southwest by Thursday. And then here comes the next front for Friday coming through. And this one looks like it gets hung up a little bit to the south, but it does make it through. And dew points again nice and low at the 30s. So definitely feeling fall-like and kind of breezy too next weekend as well with that. So let's look at the dew point. So and the temperature. So let's go look at the sky cover and see how we're going to do with that for tomorrow. So you see here's the front coming through. So probably some clouds around. More sun in the afternoon. You might see a little smoke, but it hopefully gets pushed to the south. On Tuesday, we have a mostly sunny day. Wednesday, maybe a few more clouds, but it could still be mostly sunny, especially on Long Island. And then Thursday, we'll have more clouds. Friday, looks like we'll be dealing with some clouds. And then Saturday, we'll clear it out and have a nice weekend, hopefully. Again, so that'll be good. All right. Let me look at some of the other models here, like the NAM. Then we're going to go to some other things to check out. As soon as the NAM loads, now the NAM's having issues with loading, of course. Yeah, we start off with clouds, and then it gets better later on in the day. And then we'll have mostly sunny skies. Tuesday, we should have clear skies. However, you'll notice that there may be, because the ocean's warm over here, there may be some cloudiness that might try to work its way into the Jersey Shore area, but Long Island should be okay and mostly clear. Okay, the next thing we got to look at is earthandoldskool.net, because we want to take a look at our ocean temperatures. Oh yeah, and we also got to go to windy.com, and we'll check out Sally again. I want to use this to track several things here. The first thing is ocean temperature anomalies. Yep, here you go, all above normal, and quite above normal too. 4 degrees Celsius above normal, 7 degrees above normal, 7 degrees Fahrenheit above normal. Look at this. Look at all the way up here. You got 6 degree anomalies all the way up. Let's go look at the actual sea surface temperature then in that area. 60 degrees. That's warm for that area. And then if you go over here, look at that. Temperatures. All these water temperatures here in red are almost near 80. So that's going to definitely be enough. And look at the Gulf. Well into the 80s. So that's plenty of energy for Sally. Now, the next parameter we're going to look at here, go to air, and we're going to look at our smoke particles here. Not the dust. You see there's some dust coming off Africa. That's not even helping mitigate the tropics now. So at PM 10, I believe. Yeah, so it looks like the thickest smoke is still over the west. But we have a little bit of it over here. Let's just move this along one day. Yeah, you can see the clearer air is coming in there. It is. So looks like we shouldn't be getting affected too much by the smoke. Why is it showing so much particles? It's probably salt spray. Yeah. Okay. Now windy.com. We'll look at Sally. Let's look at Sally. This model uses the European. And here is Paulette, first of all. So here's Paulette. Let's see what it does with Paulette. Look at that. Direct hit on Bermuda. And then you can see it actually becomes stronger. Yeah, it might become a category 3 probably. Paulette as it moves away. Luckily, but it's all right over that warm water. So, let's focus on Sally here. Here's Sally. The Euro might be a little fast with this. So this is Sally right here. Still as Sally is, yeah, I think the Euro is completely underestimating this. I'm not even gonna. This uses the European, by the way. We're gonna shift over to the GFS, which I think is. Yeah, it's a little more accurate because the Euro has been underestimating these storms all year. So this is, and these are the sustained winds. I should really put it on gusts though, because I think that would be more. Yeah, I think this will become a hurricane. I really do. I really do think it's going to become a hurricane. You can see there's New Orleans right there, and then what happens is this is the GFS. So you can see, look at it, gets stronger as it makes the landfall. There you go, hurricane force winds right there. It looks like this is the GFS. It turns it literally just west of New Orleans. So New Orleans might get spared, because if New Orleans gets on the right side of the storm, it's going to be a lot worse than if it's on this left side of the storm. So I'll have to keep an eye on Sally. It's going to make a landfall probably late tomorrow. It's got plenty of time to strengthen, and honestly, with those water temperatures, I think the models are underestimating how strong this is going to be. With that's going to wrap up this weather update. All these disasters going on. It's absolutely nuts. Here's Paulette, by the way. So you can see what it does with Paulette. Look at that. Yeah, it's going to be up there for sure. So you're going to have to keep an eye. I mean, there's so much stuff going on. You can see the disturbance over here. The tropics are just so active. I've never seen them this active ever. So that's going to wrap up this weather update. I'll keep you posted on all this crazy stuff going on. This is what we really should be talking about because this is really the crisis that we are facing right now. Take care, everybody.